So we need to bring this all together now in terms of how the business looks after you. Obviously, we've seen how the 5 ways drives profit. But let's go right back to session 1, where we talked about the inevitability of the fact that at some point you're going to have to leave your business. So my question to you would be, how much will it be worth and when? Obviously a good thing to decide. Now, there's a number of factors that we need to throw into that equation. John Warrillow wrote a book called Built to Sell, and he identified 8 value drivers that included things like reliance on the owner, reliance on a particular member of team or supplier or customer, the competitive advantage of the business, the financial growth and stability of the business. So there are 8 levers. What he also identified was that businesses that weren't performing very well on those 8 factors had an average exit multiple of 3.55 times EBITDA. Businesses, conversely, who had a value builder score of over 80% had an average exit multiple of 6.1 times EBITDA. Now, that's a different number, isn't it? Now, what I'm not suggesting is that you get hung up on those numbers, but what I am suggesting is that you get hung up on the ethos of driving the value of the business as well. So let's have a look at that. We've obviously started to see the 5 ways, and here's the first set of numbers that I showed you at year 0. Now, in a business that makes 50,000 a year profit, it's just about going to pay the owner. So really, there's no value in that business. You know, if you came to sell it, then all that would happen is you'd have to replace the owner with somebody doing the owner's job, and likelihood is that there wouldn't be much profit left. So nobody's going to really pay anything of any value to buy that business. But let's think about what we've done as a result of all these previous 19 sessions. We've built in the how and the what of what we do to create a scalable enterprise. We've reduced the reliance on team and customers and suppliers through systemization to build value into the business. The value of the business is in the systems. We can take team out, put a new team in to operate the same systems and give us that predictable consistency. Our dashboards give us a very clear line of sight through the business to give us more predictability. So we've created an environment which brings value to the business. So if you think about doing that over a period of time, let's say 5 years. So in year 1, you've already seen these numbers. Our profit increases by 61%. Let's say we now get a 2 times value multiple in that business. Well, okay, it gives us a reasonable return. But it's still really probably not worth the 3.55, because even though it's generating some profit, it's not generating a massive amount of profit. In year 2, another 61% increase in profit, and we're now starting to see some value in that business, and we're systemizing the business well. Probably by this point, we're creating a systemized ILI, in other words, sales and marketing machine, as well as a systemized OUTI, the delivery mechanisms, operational capability of the business. So now we start to drive our value multiple. As we start to create more scale in that business, we can increase that value multiple. So we're really only increasing it by a small amount every year. When we move into year 4, in year 5, now what we've created is something where we're just starting to generate that 6.1 value multiple. Now, other multiples are available, but the point is here that if we just to increase by 10% year on year for 5 years, then that becomes a very different business, both in terms of profitability and in terms of value multiple. So really, the overall message from me here is to go and start measuring this 5 ways, create the systems that we've talked about, and decide, most importantly, what is the number that you want your business to be worth and by when. Because then obviously you can plan backwards. So plan backwards from that number to drive growth through your 5 ways to create the value that you want in your business.